Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. And this is a fun part of the show where we get to promote some really cool stuff. And there's a block party coming to Riverdale, but it involves a lot of things. So let me welcome the board chair of the Riverdale Main Streets Alliance. It is Damian Mcshane. Nice to see you again, Damian.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. And my buddy Eric Kollin from the Riverdale Art Fest. Nice to have you, Eric.
Hello.
Damian, this is a big thing, and it got bigger this year, right? The Riverdale Block Party. What has it been? Where is it at? And what are we doing?
Yeah, so this is our third annual Riverdale Block Party. It's sponsored by an organization that you mentioned I'm the chairperson of right now, the Riverdale Main Streets Alliance. And we're a community-based organization that brings together really concerned members of the community. There's a lot of local institutions in North Riverdale in particular, as well as the merchants. And this event is designed to really combine all three of those things into one event. It's an outlet for families. It's along our main street, so we're hoping to drum up business for all of our merchants along the Riverdale Avenue corridor. And it also allows some of our institutions to come out and meet and greet with the community they serve. So
a fun day, a fun Sunday in May. So we showed the flyer. So it's Sunday from 1 to 7, which means it's the whole afternoon.
Yeah.
And just to be very clear, it's on Riverdale Avenue in North Riverdale, the North Riverdale part of Riverdale Avenue. And Damian, you mentioned to me just before we went on the air that there's more this year, aside from the Riverdale Art Fest that's going to be involved, but there's other activities and things going on. Why don't you mention what some of those are?
Sure. So it just happened to work out and we were able to coordinate it. The Riverdale Y is holding their run and fun day. So starting at 7:30 in the morning, there's a 5K or a 1K around the Riverdale area. And then after that, you're more than welcome. And we encourage you to come out to Riverdale Avenue, right in front of the Skyview Shopping Center at about 259th Street, to have a good time with merchants, with face painters and clowns. We're also going to have a singer at 6 o'clock, Max Borak, for those of you who are familiar with his soothing tunes. But also we partnered with KRVC, which is a larger merchant association in the area. They'll be running a shuttle bus from South Riverdale. So the folks that don't live in Riverdale, KRVC is providing a shuttle bus. They're actually holding an event earlier in the day. So you can, again, walk around, visit some of the local businesses there, and then head on up to North Riverdale starting at 1 for the street fair.
I love this. I think it's great. And to be honest with you, two things. Number one, every Bronx neighborhood needs something like this. Many do, many have things like this. But the second part of it is bringing more people, getting more organizations involved, helps our businesses, helps our artists, which I'm about to talk about with Eric. And this is how you build community, despite all the issues that we talk about that are difficult, from housing to crime and everything else. This is how we solve them, I think, by bringing communities together. Damian, you and your colleagues, salute. That's the way I feel about it. Eric, my buddy, the Riverdale Art Fest was actually supposed to be, a couple of weeks ago.
Well, actually,
what happened?
It was supposed to be a couple of months ago.
A couple of months ago, okay.
So just to brief it, Shira Silverman, who runs the Riverdale Y Market, and myself teamed up, got a grant from the Bronx Arts Council to have this arts festival at the Sunday market. So
this is the Riverdale Sunday Market, which, as you know,
Sunday market.
Right. As you know, I attend every Sunday. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, and I bump into you often. So it sounds a great idea, and we got artists together. It was a great way to bring people, creatives, and show them off. Like, this is a community event. So we tried it in the fall, and it was a really rainy day, and we had to cancel. And we tried it last week. It was a really nasty day.
Oh my goodness!
We had to postpone, but luckily, and I thank the Main Street Alliance, really saved us. And I think it's going to work out better to actually. They invited us to join them in their block party.
In their block party.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, Eric, I think that, as I just mentioned before, bringing people together, having all this, I'm sure Damian's going to be thrilled because all the artists and all the people, and this is yet another part of life. I got to show a couple of things. Eric, we can see it a little bit behind you. You're a crazy artist. You are wild. You create some of the, so I know Anderson's got a couple of pictures. Let's just roll something from Eric. What the heck is this?
Well, this started out, I found a really cool picture of an airplane, and then I just was sketching, and I had this idea of a cowboy on top of the airplane, and then the cowboy ended up with these things, and then the airplane ended up with a face fighting back. So it's really about sort of power and resistance, power struggles. And I love doing iconography. Like
we'll show. Let's show one more of yours. But I have to say, you say, I got an airplane and then it ended up. It doesn't just end up. You do it. It's not like it came from the sky. It's like, well, I don't know. I put it out here and it ended up. No, it didn't end up. You painted it. Do you use watercolor? You do use a pencil?
I use pencil for the sketches, but it's acrylic. Purely acrylic. All my work looks like watercolor. It's an illusion. It's a magic trick. It's acrylic paints.
All right, let's show another one. Here we go.
The Matador and the Bull.
The Matador and the Bull.
Similar theme. When I started this, it was just a picture of a matador. Then I added the cape and the matador, the bull, the horns started to fight back. So, and the reason I like the theme here is that there's such great pageantry with the bullfight. At the same time, it's so savage. And I love the contradiction of that.
Well, again, I do appreciate that you didn't say, well, and it just happened. I mean,
it did, but okay, we'll see.
Okay, something spoke through you, and I really appreciate it. So these are all, what you'll be displaying, and these are on sale, obviously, and those kinds of things.
Yes. So what's happening with the Art Fest part of this is we'll have tents set up, and we'll also have artists on tables nearby, and in the tents will be really great Riverdale artists that everybody really should see and get to talk to. And we'll also have a presentation tent where they'll be doing workshops and lectures and stuff.
Wow, how wonderful. I don't want to run out of time. And if I want a place to sleep tonight, I really need to show Susie D Designs. So I know Anderson has a photo. There's my wife, Suzanne, paints these individual boxes that are just absolutely beautiful. And she will be there displaying her artwork. Please stop by and at minimum say hello or appreciate her artwork. And because this is live on the air, I was allowed to actually show a box or two. Look how nice. Of course, the virtual green screen, but look how nice. And everyone is hand painted and everyone is different. Some of them, like this one, has sparkles and everything else. So there you go. And one more picture I want to show, and then we're going to get back to Damian to just wrap this up and figure it out. The picture that's behind me is actually a painting, and the painting is done by our good friend Dan. This is the original painting that I use for the background of this show. It's Orloff Avenue, and it is by our good friend Daniel Halbin. Damian, is Daniel going to be there, or would you know, Eric? Is Daniel going to be there?
He has another appointment that day, and he really regrets because he was going to be sketching at the festival.
And he's been very, very, very active. Damian, I'm sure even seeing this artwork inspires you. This makes you say, "Wow, this broadens what we're doing in our community."
Yeah, I think Eric kind of hit the nail on the head when he was talking about his own work, how it evolves over time. And this is an event that has evolved over the last several years. And even this year, again, our partnerships grew over the last 3 to 6 months as we were able to discuss and coordinate things. And we were super excited to have the Arts Fest. I apologize that you got rained out, but I think it was a boon.
Well, you didn't do it.
No, you didn't do it, and I think it worked out for the best. We were so excited to be part of the Main Street Alliance Block Fair.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be an event that expands and grows going forward. And hopefully, again, there are more people that will be able to show their wares, their art, and just to come out and experience a fun day with the community.
I'd like to talk a sense of reality. And Damian, you have, of course, have been involved in the community board and everything else. Everything needs funding. And Eric knows this as well. He talked about a grant that they got. How do you pay for this? Are these businesses that put up the money? You mentioned KRVC. I mean, I appreciate that, but they, of course, also have to raise money. Talk to me about, what it takes to put this on.
So, we're a not-for-profit 501c3. This event is fully self-funded through the contribution of our members and local institutions. We also have a lot of vendors who have generously supporting the event. We're charging a minimal fee for tables. And because of that, because of those contributions, we're able to pull this off. It includes Mount St. Vincent, some other larger institutions, the Y, a big partner, a big supporter of ours, Skyview Property Owners Associations, and most importantly, the people in the community who are going to volunteer in the event. And that's really
that's a big thing too.
All the volunteer efforts that's gone in here, all the businesses along Riverdale Avenue in particular that have supported this over the last 3 years. Without the community, without the volunteers, none of this would happen.
Was the Riverdale Main Streets Alliance in existence before the block party, or was it really we got the organization together to create a block party?
It actually started in about 2012 as the North Riverdale Merchants Association.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
And it just evolved over time as businesses change. And I think the interest in the community for these type of events grew. And then we needed really community volunteers to get more involved to do the planning. Small businesses really don't have the bandwidth to do that. They need some people to kind of band them together, put forth some good ideas, take their ideas and further them independent of what they do day in and day out.
Right.
They provide a critical service. They're the lifeblood of our community. And in some ways, this is the community volunteers giving back.
Eric, we'll give you the final word. It's my job to ask a question you can't answer. Do you like the idea so much that you're going to say next year we'll be in the block party, or at this point, who knows?
Well, because of this and the idea of the Riverdale Art Fest being sort of a mobile thing, it was great. And Damian, I can't thank you enough for letting us join you, and Gary for the work that you do, both of you for bringing the community together. This is going to be an amazing event. We're so
going to be fun. Yep.
So
all right, we got to run. Listen, Damian Mcshane from the Riverdale Main Streets Alliance, Eric Kollin from I almost said the Riverdale Block Party. That's part of it, but the Riverdale Art Fest. I'm going to be out there. My wife will be out there, obviously. Everybody come on out. Doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. Just come on out and enjoy. And that is Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. in North Riverdale. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See you around
See you
town.
on Sunday.
All right. That is the Bronx Buzz for this evening. Thank you to our buddy David Brand over at Gothamist. And you know what we always say, if the curtain don't fall and the creek don't rise, we'll be back next week. Good night.